Alright, I'm asked to do a little garden tour, so I'm going to give it a try. Just a little overview, just a few herbs on the deck, nothing going on up here. Besides just some culinary herbs and some strawberries. And some more seedlings for fall garden. So just do a little overview of what it looks like, the whole yard. And then I'll start over in the nightshade area. In our little tiny city yard. Okay, I have hibiscus growing here in the drive for tea. This is a red roselle, not flowering yet. And this is where the tomatoes begin, the base of the drive. I have the blue gold berries here. Love them with their little flower on top when you pick them. And I have red pears next door. I have 2 of each of the cherry varieties. These are sunrise bumblebee. I haven't had any of those yet. They're just getting ripe. Next door is the Amish paste. Have a few of those. Pardon the shadow, not used to doing this. And then my German Johnsons, my favorite pink Brandywine tomato. I have probably the most plants of those. Definitely the most plants of those. And at the end here is Dr. Weitsch's. They're just huge, but they haven't, no ripe ones yet. And some lemongrass. And on the table here in the drive, we have upper deck here, our eggplants. These are starting with, hard to see, these are Hansel fingerling dark purple eggplants. And then we also have roselle eggplants here. You can tell by the color. And on this side, we have the poblanos also. There's a lot of fruit on there. And the first time for me to try these Alma paprika peppers. They have taken an age. I have 2 orange ones, and not many, not very prolific, not very thrivey peppers. These here are the Black Beauty eggplants all along this side, up to the Gretel white fingerling eggplants. And this is where I have my sweet bells. These are pretty much primarily red and yellow bells. And a few sweet Hungarians here. And that's pretty much what the drive looks like. That's our food we grow here. So all these buckets are new this year. The arch trellises that I was inspired by Roots and Refuge and Jessica Sowers in her amazing garden. So in the main garden, I have carrots here in these square pails. These are Amarillo and Parisian carrots. We have about a dozen snow pea plants in here, and then more carrots. These are the ox heart, and also more Amarillo. Loving my arch, mostly with squash and melons and a couple trellises of beans. These are planted the same on both sides. These are the rampicante or trombone squash. And then I have the cucuzzi, gourd squash. These are tatumes. The same on both sides. Over here, these are Atomo watermelons, all these personal size watermelons I grew this year. And these are the Beni Kadima. Having some trouble with the soil here, having some herbicide exposure, so things are not thriving everywhere where that soil is. These are the French cantaloupes, I can't remember the name, and also Hale's Best. And then another first time grow for me are these Tigger melons. Most of these seeds come from Baker Creek, all inspired by Jessica Sowers at Roots and Refuge. Kajari melon. Climbing triple crop tomato I have next door. I included a couple of these viners, expecting them to be really long. Didn't work out that way this year. Chinese red noodle beans. One of these plants is not doing well, but the rest are doing fine. And then green beans here on the end of the trellis, just starting to come on. And then there's a row with some odds and ends. I tried these tires for zucchini. They're kind of at the end of their life. I'm still getting a couple nice fruits off of them, so just letting them go. I have their replacements on the porch. These are Cocazel, both of these, Cocazel zucchini. Leaving my lettuces go to Bolt. Lima beans. These are Christmas limas. Loving them. And then I have a couple of yellow squash here in the back that are also about to be replaced, letting all my lettuces go to seed. Really enjoyed this red lettuce this year. This, another yellow squash, just still giving up its last fruits. This trellis here was a last minute add-on, and I put winter squash on it. So these are the butternuts, just starting to get a couple. I have a nice big one over here. Never grown these before either. I mean, obviously I've eaten them. Butternut. Sweet dumpling. Next door. And the last is planted with honeyboat delicatas. I've harvested about 6 of these so far. So there's not very many on the plant right now. But things are still going. Still going. few more tomatoes within the main garden. These are like the specialty kind of tomatoes. They've been looking rough since I planted them. Also with that same soil problem. Black Beauties. Lot of fruit set on these plants. Yellow pears. Still going. So tall this year. I had to put new stakes in. Taller than my neighbor's garage. Strange benefits of the tainted soil. More Black Beauties. These are Armenian white cucumbers, gourds. Have a couple of English cucumbers here in the center. Just harvested yesterday, making pickles. These are straight 8s here on the end. Just still waiting for sun. Cucumber beetles have taken me out this year with the cucumbers and the melons. I've really struggled with that. And just another tomato on the end. Another Black Beauty. Over here on this last table, put in some new, these are rapini, broccolinis. These are Romanescos. They look great. All of these here. Also some sprouting broccoli, purple sprouting broccoli. They all look so amazing. They haven't produced a thing. This is the hot pepper table as well. Hot pepper and cabbages. So, having a hard time getting things to finish heading up. Got a couple going to seed. But I just love the way they look anyway. This is the prize cabbage of the year. On this side I have cayennes, Italian hot cherry, and Hungarian hots. On the other side I have some peppers. I really am not fully convinced of what they are. These are pepperoncini peppers. Next door, never grown these before, Akanagua peppers. Don't know what to do with them. Just know that they're listed as a rather hot. This here is ahi roja. Next door, these long skinny Thai peppers are gangboas. I can't even recall the name of this pepper. And then we have red habanero, regular habanero, lots of serrano chili, jalapeno. And the last bit of the garden is the tea garden, which is my favorite. I had kale and collards over here taking up space, doing not a whole lot, and some last minute things that were thrown in, some extra shallots. I'm loving the shallots and herbs. So have a little rosemary. These are conserver shallots that I got from Johnny's Seed. Not my favorite kale that I've grown. This is, Georgia collards. Not my favorite variety ever. A hybrid that was given to me. Better Boy, I want to say. Shallots. Some culinary herbs mixed in here too. This is lettuce leaf basil. That is a looker. Some kale. Purple basil. Cauliflower. Got 2 of them in here, just working on doing something. And this is another, just finishing out the row of kale and collards. These on the top are all tea herbs. Agastaches. We have a nice container basil. This basil got really, really big before it started flowering at all, liking that mountain mint next door. Got some calendula in here. Hyssop, pink hyssop. Navajo agastache. There's a couple agastaches in here. Really fell in love with the lemon basil this year. Lemon and lime basil. Lemon performed really spectacular in here. It's just amazing what it did. And then this is the lime basil here next door. Also delicious, but that lemon, my goodness. Some more calendula, holy basil. Everybody raves about this basil. I'm having a hard time falling in love with it. I don't find it particularly fragrant, delicious. I know it's meant for tea, it's medicinal. Just not in love. Bee balms. Oh yeah, this other huge bee balm here. Just doing amazing. I didn't even talk about it. All of these grown in the bags. This is anise. I'm excited to see what it does if we get it to go to flower before the end of the year. And that pretty much does it. Apart from strawberry patch in the front of the house and a couple of honeyberries, all the food is grown here in the back of my inner city backyard. Have a good one.